Hello, my friends in YouTube. It's me again, and I'm doing a video response to my boy 8 the Chosen One here in the cinema in space. Now, this is a video response to what movie changed your life, and I'm gonna do mine a little bit differently because I try to think about it, you see, and I thought I had an answer, but I realized I don't. I don't have a straight answer, and I can explain why. So you can see I have a stack of movies right here. I'm just gonna get them all out. I'm gonna get one movie in particular. You can see I'm holding it in my hand now. No, I'm just trying to get all the versions I have of it. It's The Lost Boys. The Lost Boys. You can ask me any time of the day, any year. I mean, when I was in high school anyway. I mean, it started in high school. From my 10th grade summer up until now, ask me what my favorite movie is, and into the future, ask me my favorite movie of all time is, and I'll tell you, it's The Lost Boys. It's my favorite movie. But the movie that changed my life, I couldn't figure out an answer because The Lost Boys is my favorite movie. You want to know how much my favorite movie it is? When I first rented it at Blockbuster way back, I was in 10th grade going into 11th grade. There was that summer in between, and I would watch it every day. And when I mean I watched it every day, I would watch it when I woke up, I'd put it on, and then, I'd replay it a couple times throughout the day. And then once I returned it, my mom actually bought a copy for me from Walmart. This is what you're looking at right now. This is a print of an emblem. And I remember I lent this out to a friend. I didn't have a copy. I wanted to show it to my brother because, it's kind of funny. My brother was born in the 80s, and he didn't see it. So I went out and I actually bought this copy of it, the collector's edition. This was it was $26 at the time, but now you can get it for like $10. And oh my goodness, disc 2 sliding all around, the bonus features. That's just wrong. I got this just so I can show my older brother. I didn't want to buy the same copy twice. And then I had to buy this because it came with the Lost Boys on it. But I also had those 2 crappy sequels. The sequels are terrible. They're absolutely terrible. And then, of course, you have to get the Blu-ray. You have to get on Blu-ray. I remember when I first got my Blu-ray player, it was the first movie I got for it. It was actually on PS3. I made sure that the guy scanned this first. So that way it was the first DVD Blu-ray I got. And then, of course, I had to get the VHS tape. And it's still in the plastic. Still in the plastic. I'm still so happy about that. It's my favorite movie of all time. But there's so many other movies that I remember that when I saw them, they blew my mind. Like Aliens, I saw this in elementary school and it made me go nuts. It was either late elementary school or early middle school, and I went crazy. I thought this was like the greatest thing ever. I saw it on VHS. It was before DVD was big. And this movie, it scared me, but it didn't. I was like, this is awesome. This is incredible. I loved this movie. But you know what movie I actually saw before it? I actually saw Predator first. Yeah, I saw Predator first. And I thought this was absolutely awesome as well. And then I went on to see The Matrix. That blew my mind. And then I went to see Terminator. These movies I actually saw in kind of like a session around the same time. So when I saw these all made me want to do film. I don't want to do it now anymore. I'm actually going to school to be a teacher. But these movies kind of blew my mind in a certain way to show me how these are all R-rated movies. I think these are the movies that transitioned me into R-rated films, because it used to be I thought R-rated films would just be something stupid. I was really young at the time and I really wasn't allowed to watch them. But my dad let me watch Predator and Aliens and The Matrix and The Terminator. He let me watch these films, but really nothing else. I remember something funny. My dad told me there was no blood in Predator. And he couldn't have been more wrong. It didn't scar me or anything like that. It's now that at this age I'm kind of desensitized by stuff like that. But those movies I saw at a young age, and then I also saw the original Godzilla. Here, let me show you all the movies that I saw around that time. Godzilla and Spider-Man 2. All these movies, I saw them and they gave me this certain feeling. And as I got older, I started watching, I was more open-minded to movies, and, I saw The Crow. This blew to this day, it blows my mind. And then I started watching more underground, grindhouse films, and then I saw The Wizard of Gore. This is one of my favorite movies of all time as well, and that made me go nuts. A lot of people think of it as a guilty pleasure. I see it as more than that to me. And then, of course, I remember, this is another one. This is a big one. It's The Big Lebowski. I got the Blu-ray and the standard DVD. Now, I remember I got this on demand, right? And I saw it that first time on demand. This was also in my, that summer where, I was in my sophomore year and going on to being a senior. I mean, no, it was my junior year summer going to be... What order did this go in? Oh, no, I was a sophomore going to be a senior. That summer I saw this, and then the summer before that I saw The Lost Boys. And, ever since then, that's what I mean by I really can't figure out what really changed my life. I would guess I'd have to say The Lost Boys, because it was because of that I wanted to, I got into more of the vampire mythos. I started writing my own vampire stories and all that. It's kind of technically what got me into being a writer, because I then had to get the novel I Am Legend to see what that perspective was, and then I started writing because of it. But there's so many movies that I saw that I just fell in love with that made me see cinema in a different way, that it's hard for me to pick what my favorite movie of all time is. And I was going to bring up Cannibal Holocaust, but it showed me how shocking cinema can be, but also being smart. But I wouldn't say it changed my life completely. Movies are such an important medium for us in society. That's why it's so hard for me to pick what my personal movie that changed my life is. I would say the movies that changed my life were the Aliens, Predator, Matrix, and Terminator. But like I said, The Lost Boys was technically what got me started into writing, but The Big Lebowski kind of gave me a more open mind to how comedies can be straight and also kind of bizarre. The Crow showed me that, how to do dark, film, dark action comic book movies. Spider-Man 2 showed me how to make the perfect comic book movie. And Godzilla brought me into the light of, giant monster movies, which kind of connected to my childhood even more, because, I was all obsessed with Power Rangers, stuff like that. So giant monsters and stuff like that always fascinated me. And then, of course, Wizard of Gore got me into the whole idea of making grindhouse films. So, really, I guess I have to say every movie changed my life. Well, not every movie, but a ton of movies changed my life. There was never just one. There was always multiple. And, movies, especially horror films, they've always kind of been there for me. There have been moments where I've been down on my luck, on the verge of, the moments where I've kind of felt like there was nothing left to live for and stuff like that. And then I'd watch, and, certain films I'd watch, they'd make me feel like everything's gonna be alright, even though some movies do have darker endings than others. Personally, whenever I get really depressed, I watch The Crow, because its dark atmosphere kind of complements my mood, so it then kind of lifts my spirits up a bit. The Lost Boys, makes me just kind of forget everything. I mean, I made that list of top 5 movies that cheer me up. That was partially thrown together, but partially not. That's a different topic entirely, though. But I always felt that cinema is the thing that keeps me, joyous. Lost Boys, it's my favorite movie of all time. The Big Lebowski, Wizard of Gore, The Crow, Spider-Man 2, Gojira, Aliens, Predator, The Matrix, The Terminator, they all made an impact on my life in a certain way. I can make some honorable mentions like the Lord of the Rings films, Cannibal Holocaust, I said that already. What other movies can I think about? Kick-Ass, that's really good. John Woo's The Killer, that showed me how to make a very solid action film. anything, well, technically anything by John Woo, not so much his American stuff, but mainly his stuff made in Hong Kong. Yeah, like, movies in general are what changed my life. I wouldn't say entirely, but they are a pretty big importance on my view of how I see things now. Anyways, that's my video response for H the Chosen Ones video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'd like to see you guys do a response to this video as well. And I'll catch y'all later. God bless. Peace out.